Welcome to Mugello in the Bentley GT3. Behind us we have a getting to know each other session where the McLaren and the Porsche are really intertwined. And it doesn't even give up from there. They are still hitting each other left and right. And that is pretty much the crux of the first lap of this race, where everybody really wants to get to know each other, except for that Porsche in the rearview mirror decided to meet the wall. You know, each to their own, of course, and everybody has different preferences on who they like, but what we don't like is going gardening, and it's certainly not ideal. Hopefully we don't get a penalty for that off-track situation. Nope, we got away with that. That is absolutely brilliant. Carving our way through everybody else that's just gone massively wide. We're now back up to position 12. All in all, we have gained 3 positions from all of that chaos. We get tucked up behind that Porsche, wasn't having the momentum to be able to make a move, while also I think they're a little bit aggressive, so it's best to kind of sit back, relax, and apply a bit of pressure towards them. Hopefully they will make a mistake, we gain that position, rather than go side by side and then get barreled off the track. But door has been open. I'm going to send it up the inside here, have the inside line of the next corner, thus no way of being able to have a comeback. Ouch, that car did meet the wall. Let me know how many pixels are in creation of said wall. Catching up to another Porsche, who decides drifting is a new optional extra. Thanks to their shenanigans, we have gained another position. Now we're within the top 10 in P9, absolutely brilliant. 1 second penalty to the car up in front, 1.2 seconds away, actually getting a good bit of time away from the cars behind. Lap 1 is a little bit chaotic, a little bit messy. All we need to do now is catch up the trio of cars up in front, get away from the cars behind, relieve that pressure, and I'll start applying that pressure to the cars ahead of us. The trio of cars would end up battling, which would then slow them down, which will then help us out catching them up. I mean, they're only 1 second away at the moment. A couple of corners, be right upon them. That's all we need. We have a Bentley, an AMG, and a McLaren in the mix of cars up ahead. Now, Sanchez BLR is only 0.6 seconds away at this moment, which is absolutely ideal. Shows you how quickly one corner has closed that door to those cars up in front, and also giving us a great bit of leg room away from the cars behind. Now, this Bentley isn't running very much downforce on the rear. I think it's, you could say, about 15%. So on a run, this car is very, very quick. It does power on very nicely. Caveat to that though, it can become a little bit twitchy at the more inconvenient times that you need it, to be honest. 0.7 seconds away from the cars up in front, who do go out quite wide. This corner here is very dicey. You've got to be very careful not to go into the sand there. It will pull you off the track. Right. Not too far from the cars up in front. They are battling. That is the Bentley and the Mercedes having door-to-door action, and thus slowing the Mercedes down, giving us that position. 1 more down, 2 more to go. And that is the cousin of the Bentley we are driving right now. Funny enough, the more I drive this Bentley, the more I see everybody else driving the Bentley, or is it just like more noticeable? Didn't really stand out all that much, but this thing is an absolute machine. You guys see me driving it all the time at the moment. It's actually a real pleasure to drive. Interesting part at this moment is Sanchez BLR being right up behind us, trying to sniff for space, but we are also in the slipstream of Sergeant Mike Pepper up in front. Yeah, and I think the slipstream is strongest at 0.4, so we're going to start reeling them in, and Sanchez may start bleeding away. And by the looks of it, is actually happening that way. Sanchez being 0.4 seconds away, us closing that door on a Bentley. Just need to make sure we catch up to DHL Bentley up in front and get a position taken from them. We don't need to be held up in traffic. We need to start filtering our way through, get up that pecking order. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity to do so. The inside line of this corner here, is it going to be doable? Backing off. Mercedes, oh right, they're behind us now. I thought they went off the track, but yep, clearly a ping related issue, and thus rear end action was going to happen. Not wanted though, not wanted. Permission was not granted. Right, Sergeant Mike Papa up in front is actually handling what's going on very, very well. Not feeling the pressure all too much. We're going to see if we can get a better run here. Brake a little bit later off the inside. Not going to be doable. Ooh, contact has been made. I'm going to back off, let them take that position back. Sorry, Sergeant Mike Papa, that was not intentional. But we're going to hang it around the outside of this corner here. Brake a little bit earlier. Mike Papa broke a little bit too late. Thus went very, very wide and very well controlled through that situation. No contact from either of us, but a position has been gained. And even better from that, Sanchez BLR is in between us, which only means if the Bentley wants to try and get back at us, they have to go through Sanchez first. Got a great exit from the corner now, 2.2 seconds away from Andreas Raiko up in front. We do have to bear in mind though, Sanchez is within the slipstream. I think they're actually not that quick. They might have a lot of downforce on the rear of that car, thus slowing them down. And the Bentley is also trying to look for that position from them, which means they're looking to be quick whilst trying to defend from the car behind, which only gives us the opportunity to get away, and get away we are, and get away we shall, because Sanchez is now 0.7 seconds away. We need to make sure we nail these next few corners, get them out of that slipstream, and it has worked. 0.8 seconds away. We are still 2.2 seconds away from Andreas Raiko, but we have plenty of time on our hands to start reeling them in. And by lap 7, being through the pits and out to the side, getting a new set of medium tyres, we're in position 8 because a few of the drivers haven't pitted at the moment. This is not the track you could do a no-stop hard strategy on. It is very brutal on the tyres, and I think your last 2 laps would be absolutely dreadful. So it really isn't worth it. And plus, pitting here is rather quick, to be quite honest, compared to a lot of other tracks. So we have left G6639 43 seconds ahead in the pits, which means they're more than likely still going to come out in front of us. But by lap 9, we have caught up to Andreas Raiko 1 second away. Not ideal, but we are still in the fire line and catching them up. We still have tyres on our side. We are quite far away from anybody behind us. Thank you, Hippo94 is 2.8 seconds away, rocking a 2.6 second penalty, which gives us plenty of room, of breathing space. No pressure from anybody around us. Just need to try and close that door to Andreas up in front, who has managed to claim a few tenths and is now 1.5 seconds away. And by lap 11, Andreas is 2.8 seconds away. Just could not keep up with them. And that's a shame, really, because it would have been nice to reclaim that position 5, or claim that position 5, sorry. I mean, anything could still go wrong. They could fall off the track or crash or anything like that. There is a car up in front of them. I wonder if that's a lapped car or a car that's done a hard no stop and tyres are absolutely fundled. If that's the case, we will get position 5, which will be absolutely ideal. I don't think it is going to be the case. I'm pretty sure everybody has pitted on this race. At least we are still 2 seconds away from Thank You Hippo94 behind us. Again, even if they did manage to close that door upon us, they still have to overtake us and claim another 2.6 seconds worth of time to be able to actually secure that position, and I really don't think that's going to happen. Andreas is now 3.4 seconds away from a few not so good corners from myself, which is less than ideal, but again, sometimes you have to kind of weigh up the pros and cons. Do I keep pushing as hard as I can to try and just close that gap, or is it worth securing this position, not risking going off the track, things like that, or easy mistakes to make? And yeah, and generally sometimes just taking that little step back, securing a position, not worried about getting a penalty or things like that, is the better course of action, especially at a track like this where the runoff for any mistake is very, very brutal. I mean, not too sure what's happened to Thank You Hippo behind, but they're now almost 5 seconds away, which is 3 seconds up from what they were a few moments ago. But we do finish this race in position 6. What a brilliant race it was, but don't go away just yet. We're going to head over to Homestead Miami, where I make one monumental mistake. One question you got to ask yourself though, does this mistake change the race? Let's go and find out as we head into Homestead Miami. Again in the Bentley GT3, surrounded by a Lexus, AMG Mercedes, and zero crashing from the AI at the start of the race, which is absolutely ideal. They have actually changed the gear ratio of first gear in this car, so it's not so on the limiter as you start a race anymore. You have a few miles per hour to give yourself. Right. Coming out the other side of turn 1, we are down to position 14. Mercedes taking a whole new approach to turn 2. As we approach turn 3, they're just ghosting their way through all the cars, which is okay. There's a lot of chaos going on, and we lost a few more places down to position 14. At least we're still on the tarmac, and that's what matters the most. We can claim position back during a race, while when you're off the track and trying to recover a drive, you have to find the time as well as the places to come back to. Things may not look so hot at the moment, but we're coming back strong. Sirius Black 3036 having sketchy moments. Again, ping related issues in Forza Motorsport. Blinking. Not seen that one for a long time. Yeah. Anybody else having lobby issues? I know a few lobbies I joined today kept crashing or got kicked out, and I was back to the featured event screen for no apparent reason. It seems to be a plague that's going on at the moment, and obviously no fix has been done, although we are in support mode. Support is a loose definition, but we are also at Homestead Miami in position 12, chasing down a Porsche. Yeah, kind of a popular car, that Porsche, and I don't understand why, because I find it to be very understeery. Especially when you get on the throttle, it really does not like to turn. Although it is a very, very stable car, and it does have a great soundtrack. Again, may well be the tuner setup to a certain degree, but I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below about said Porsche. Be honest, partial to the Bentley, definitely partial to the Aston as well, and much love to the Ford Mustang. Absolute brilliant car. Each play to their own strengths. Aston Martin for tyre wear, Bentley for actual comfort and stability, and the Mustang for just sheer craziness and power at the mall. Aston Martin also did go off gardening, very wide off the track there, so it's going to be a long recovery drive for them, but we are up to position 10, which is absolutely ideal. This corner you got to be very careful of, very wide, and gets very narrow very quickly, and you can carry so much speed through there, so you either get a penalty or you go gardening. Either one is not ideal, and when you get a penalty there, it is absolutely brutal. Sorry about that, Sirius Black, a little bit of contact there. Gonna make our way back over, claim that position, coming down to this next corner here, braking hard on the pedal. Sirius Black sends it up the inside and pushes us both wide. Yeah, I think they kind of outbrake themselves to a certain degree. Easily done, especially when you're behind another car. The slipstream seems to not trail off as well. It seems to be a little bit of a bug in it in Forza Motorsport, so they could be braking, and if I wasn't in front, they would have actually made the braking zone. Whereas, even though they were beside me and we was heavily braking, contact was made, and they went gardening. At least we're in the top 10 now. In position 9. Now Dracula PL6129 is 3 seconds ahead, and by the time we jump to lap 5, they are still 3 seconds ahead. Sirius Black, though, on the other hand, is 2.5 seconds behind us, so we're not under pressure from anybody back there. Just need to start reeling in Dracula PL6129 up in front, which looks like it may well happen, as they went very wide off the track there, hit the wall, and are in the C Bentley. Kind of curious whether they get a penalty for that. I very much doubt it, because they did lose a monumental amount of time. 3 seconds is a lot. Imagine losing 3 seconds and then the penalty system going, well, you went off track and had an advantage, and here's a 2-second time gained penalty. How brutal would that be? It happens. It really does. Now, Draco going a little bit deep in that corner, probably feeling a bit of pressure from myself behind. Contact has been made, unnecessary. It's wide enough for both of us to go round too wide, and probably just trying to stretch their arm as they're going for that corner there. But If that is the case and they are feeling the pressure, we keep up behind them, keep applying that pressure, and further mistakes are going to be made. As you can see, I'm rocking now a 0.2 second penalty, and that was due to a little bit of an off track, a little bit of a corner cut, a little bit tighter than what was necessary, but 0.2 seconds, we can live with that. Frustrating, yes, but livable, certainly. Sirius Black 3.4 seconds away behind us. Dracula only 0.4 seconds away ahead. Now, after bearing in mind 0.3 seconds ahead, we also rocking a 0.2 second penalty. So if we do overtake that car, we also need to claim 0.2 seconds on top of that. Now, coming down this back straight, over start finish line, flat out overtaking Dracula to our right hand side, claiming another position thanks to a car in the pits, braking nice and early down the second gear, tie it into that corner, trying to block off a bit of a comeback, tie into turn 2, right into first gear, out the other side, back down to first gear, really holding those lines, getting that power nice and early, and pretty much securing that position. Now Dracula is now almost 1 second away. Absolutely ideal. Sky CN Steph up in front is 7 seconds away, but they are rocking a 2.5 second penalty. Nobody has pitted yet besides that one car we passed earlier. This is an opportune time to pit because we're halfway through the race, but we extend our tyres. We're gonna jump onto a set of soft because Homestead seem to be very gentle on tyres. So do you know what we're gonna do? We're on mediums at the moment. Jump into here, put a set of softs on, but we don't. Damn it. We got a bit excited there and clicked for another set of mediums. What a plum. What an idiot move, because I believe that Dracula behind is on soft tyres. So our extension on medium tyres to jump onto soft was totally pointless and unworth it. Yeah, well done Flash. Absolutely smartest idea you've done up to now. First time, to be fair, making that mistake. I'm not gonna lie. First time for everything, I guess. Now, Stu West up in front, 8 seconds away. Dracula 1.2 seconds away. They are going to be holding that pressure on us. We have to make sure we nail every corner, nail every acceleration point, every braking zone, that they cannot pounce upon us with their benefited tyres. Whoop, steady, Bentley. Behave yourself, car. Thank you. Very, very bumpy. If you don't hit that banking just right, it will absolutely wreck you, like it almost wrecked us there. And that opened a door for Dracula to feel like they can actually play in that position, which is not ideal. Really want to try and get away from that, break that thought in their head, because things towards the race end become a little bit more desperate, and if people have an inkling that a choice could be made, that they could take that position, they will try and take it. So we need to try and break away from them. 0.8 seconds away coming out of that corner, and hopefully we get a great run down this back straight. Now Dracula will be able to outbrake us, out-corner us, but I don't think we'll be able to outpower us, which goes to show really, because by the end of lap 14, our final lap, Dracula is 1.8 seconds away. So even though we made that monumental mistake by choosing the wrong tyres, at least it hasn't affected the ending of this race. The biggest question really though is, if we chose soft tyres, would we have been able to catch up to Stu East up in the front, 6.6 seconds away? That is the question that's going to make your mind boggle. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.